So, morning, this is an attempt at a bit of a new channel. Messed around before with other things, you know, doing various bits and bats. This is the current thing we're working on, and that is a 2015 Seat Ibiza. It's had a massive oil leak. You can see there, I've already resealed the oil filter housing. We're having trouble bleeding it up. The cooling system's had lots of parts replaced. Yesterday's job that we're just tidying up from is the little Honda Acti, which is that little bus. And yesterday we had it all stripped down and we did the rear outer CV boots, which are there. Put some blue silicone CV boots on, so we'll see how those last. We're just going to have a bit of a tidy up in the garage. This is the garage, looking a bit of a mess at the moment. Bits everywhere, going to have a tidy up. So let's crack on with this time lapse of tidying up the garage. Right, that's the garage a bit tidier, as you can see there from the tools. Tools are all laid out on a table because there's no toolbox at the moment. The toolbox is old and broken. The drawer slides have disintegrated. There will be a new toolbox in there soon. Just having a look at the options, online Draper or Workshop Solutions or something like that. Just cleaned up the drip tray, just so when we get the Ibiza back in we can see what's actually dropping out of it and how much. So yeah, we'll crack on and see if we can get that bled up. Just under the max mark, that's been up to about that level when it's pressurised, which is not normal. We've done various things to it. It's had a new water pump because the water pump was the original shrouded water pump, which aren't very good because they do tend to fail. It's had thermostat housing and then a replacement thermostat housing because the original new one didn't work as it should. It didn't seem to be opening, but then again the new one, that doesn't seem to be opening properly either. Has got a battery drain issue because it's had an Android head unit fitted, so the battery does drain overnight, and it's been hard work. So we're going to have another go bleeding the system, see if we can get the air out, the air blockages, airlocks out of the system. Problem is with this one, it takes 7.7 litres of coolant, and it's got two systems on it. So we've got a normal cooling system, but with two thermostats, and it's also got a charge air cooling system which uses the normal engine coolant as well in a different circuit. Very confusing. You have to read up about it quite a bit to get your head around it. So let's stick another time lapse on and see how that goes. So just keep massaging the pipes. That is the expansion bottle at the moment. So we're just on the maximum mark. As I massage these pipes, we do get coolant coming up. It's coming back off the leak off pipe as well. Down here is the thermostat housing, which you can't see. So thermostat housing down there. That is the rear thermostat that you can see, and the rear thermostat doesn't open until the cooling system is extremely hot, over 90 degrees. That one is that's where the bottom hose goes to. So the bottom hose of the radiator, as the coolant in the radiator heats up, it comes through, that thermostat opens, lets it cycle back into the engine. The front thermostat is just forward of that. These are the two radiator hoses, the top hose and the bottom hose. Bottom hose comes from down there, underneath the fan switch, which you can just see, and the top hose goes into the top of the radiator. All the other coolant pipes, this is the other circuit for the charge air cooling system. All of this stuff, and down the back here under the manifold is a secondary coolant pump, which works when the vehicle gets hot. Top hose, radiator hose, is extremely hot and feels empty, but it is pushing a bit of coolant through. The rear thermostat is still closed and the coolant pipe is cold. If I just reach down here to the fan switch is cold or lukewarm, maybe 20-25 degrees. Coolant temperature in the engine is at 84. And it won't be long now before this expansion bottle boils over. So just keep massaging that. It's extremely hot. There's not many air bubbles coming out of it at the moment. There has been a few little bits. Just like that. But that is extremely hard work on the hands because of the temperature of the coolant pipe. Can't be this hard to bleed up, it really can't. So I'm just going to have a look at the CO detector and see how that works, because it could have been the reason why it overheated yesterday. It did seem, when we were out on road testing it did seem to be running cold. It never got above, say, 92 degrees or 96 degrees. Then after 13 miles it just overheated and went up to 110, I think it was. Obviously the fan wasn't cutting in because the radiator was cold, so that does lead me to believe it's got an airlock somewhere. But we'll keep going and see how it goes. Okay, may have something here. The air bubbles have massaged out. The coolant bottle is still on just below maximum, which is okay. Engine coolant temperature is at 88. So that's just before the thermostat opens. Thermostat opens at 90 degrees. Or the front is it the rear or the front? One of the thermostats opens at 90 degrees, the other one I think 88 or 89. The bottom hose is starting to warm up. Rear thermostat is possibly half open, quarter open. doesn't feel very like there's a lot of water weight behind it. It's easy to compress, but no bubbling noises. So let's keep going, see if we can get any more out. So we've got the little CO adapter on there. That is blue fluid that comes in the kit. We just squeeze the bulb, get air up from the expansion bottle. So if there's any combustion gases in the cooling system, which would indicate a head gasket failure, the fluid in there would turn yellow. I'm not sure how quick it turns yellow. It is going from kind of a dark blue to a greeny colour. I would imagine it changes really quickly if there's a serious head gasket failure. Might actually be sucking a bit of coolant into that. May not help. So I would say with that there is no CO2 present in that mixture coming up through the expansion bottle. It is, however, just about to overheat. So just pop that on there. Try to stand it up on something. There's it. So yeah, just looking at that, it is just about to overheat or overflow. Again, just a quick look at the temperature. Temperature's at 93. We've had no fan activation yet, so there could still be a little bit of air in the system. The rear thermostat is now fully open. Still waiting for the fan to come on. It's actually dropping again now. So we're dropping back down to max. So something's moving. Thermostat housing at the back is very hot now. Can barely touch the pipes, or the pipe, the lower hose. So that means that very shortly we should be getting fan activation. I'll just have a feel of that. Fan switch out is red hot, so fan switch down there, that is hot, so the fan should be kicking in very shortly. Still just above max on the coolant, and temperature is 90 degrees. Okay, so a little bit of progress being made here. We've now got the coolant temperature still at 90 degrees. We've managed to squeeze a bit more air out of the expansion bottle or the cooling system. We're just running just above minimum. This is after it's already boiled over once. Well, not boiled over, but the expansion of the air in the system has pushed the coolant out of the expansion bottle. So we've switched it off, massaged the hoses, switched it back on again. The hoses are incredibly hot, both top and bottom. The fan switch is hot, but we've had no fan activation yet because it must be above 90 degrees on the activation temperature. And it's just sat there in between minimum and maximum with the engine running at 90 degrees. So that looks like it could be a result. The secondary coolant pump is operating, can feel it buzzing through the pipes. So that's buzzing through all the secondary pipes and the charge air cooling system for the turbo. Yeah, still hot, but still staying at the right level. Just after I stopped recording that, where I said the current staying at the right level, fan activated. There's a fan. It's not going to go now. So the one fan activation on the fan switch. Obviously radiator's getting very hot, the lower hose is hot, both thermostats are open, obviously trying to maintain a constant temperature, so they will open and close. Yep, thermostat housing's hot. Should hear the engine RPM drop any second and then go again. The fan should go again, should I say. Let's have a look at the temperature. Temperature's still at 90. There we go, fan's running. So cooling system's operating as you would expect it to be operating. Everything's hot. Coolant levels in between minimum and maximum. Now as I squeeze that lower hose, I could feel little bubbles of air in it, but they've just gone, I think, now. Let's just have a look at these top hoses. Still some bubbles coming up through there when they're squeezed, trying to burn the skin off. Yep, dropped even further. So there is still air in the system, which there shouldn't be. Okay, so all that's left to do now, bonnet's down. Quick road test. I'm going to have to do over 13 miles in it just to make sure it's not overheating again. We have got some more air out of it. The radiator cap's back on, so this system should be pressurising now with the expansion of the fluid. Radiator fan keeps cutting in and out, as you can hear, which is good. So road test time, and I'll be back shortly. Okay, just had to pull over here. We've done 8.3 miles. Temperature was hovering between 74 and say 88 degrees, which is good. It went up to 90, 92, and it's just gone up to now 104 degrees, which I would say is too hot. Normally hover about 90 degrees and go up and down slightly. So we're just gonna get out, have a quick look at the expansion bottle and see what kind of level it's at. I suspect it's going to be quite high. Okay, so there we go, this is the issue. We now have expansion bottle over maximum. Top hose is red hot, bottom hose is really cold. Even after it's been hot, the rear thermostat is cold. So the system isn't flowing as it should be. We've got radiator's gone cold, obviously we're driving it. Fan switch is cold. So yeah, if anyone's got any ideas, that'd be great. Here we go again. I've released a bit of pressure out of the expansion bottle. The expansion bottle dropped to just above minimum. There's still pressure in the system, and now the rear thermostat has opened again, and the lower radiator hose is warm, or warming up, so that would indicate that there's possibly still some air in it, but it's driving me mad. So if anyone's got any ideas, let me know in the comments. Right, so there we go. Another week's passed. The Ibiza is now back apart. There you go. So front end's off, air conditioning condenser's still there, still connected. Radiator's off, and the air charge cooler is off as well. I've got a new radiator for it. I've had a chat with some people. They said radiator, but I flushed the radiator out before, it was clear. So we'll see what happens. I'm not holding out much hope. This is the absolute worst car that I've ever tried to stop overheating. And the two systems on it and the 7.7 litres of coolant doesn't help. The procedure doesn't work. We've vacuumed all the coolant out, or vacuumed the system down to negative figures, and still nothing. So we'll pop the new radiator on, we'll do it all again, and we'll see what happens. I'll update you soon. So here we are again. You may remember the set ether. Various faults with it, overheating, getting really hot, overpressurizing, then the coolant dropping, just generally misbehaving. It's had a water pump, it's had thermostats, there's 2 coolant circuits on it because it's V-dub, Audi group. Just makes it harder to work on. We've vacuumed it out and filled the cooling system up again with the vacuum system. Anyway, the upshot of it all is that we've done that. So the head's off. We're doing the head gasket. There's the head itself. So after doing the chain, probably a couple of months ago, we've now stripped it all down again. There's the good old chain. Yeah, just a bit of a bind. Didn't want to do it. But it's my son's car, and sometimes you've got to do these things. Anyway, I haven't filmed any of the strip down of this. He wants it quick, so I'm just gonna check the cylinder head for straightness. Got a straight edge from work. The way we did diagnose it eventually was we took it to the 4-gas analyzer at work and just popped it just at the top of the expansion bottle. And we were getting about 44 parts per million of hydrocarbons at the top of the expansion bottle. When you've got the kit, it's easy. Haven't had access to any of that kit over the summer because we've been moving garages at work. So, you know, that's the way it is. So we're going to crack on and get it finished off. I might do a bit of time lapse, might not. But next time you see it, it'll probably be running. So hopefully that'll be it.